Tammy and the T-Rex, directed by Stuart Raphael and starring Denise Richards and Mr. Crispy Paul Walker. This shit was way more fun than it should have been. I wasn't expecting much at all, and that probably helped a lot. So basically, Paul Walker plays a kid named Michael, and Denise Richards plays Tammy. Or if you watch the ending credits, they call her Tanny. Good job there, editor. And she's going out with some asshole, kind of like the Henry Bowers of Tammy and the T-Rex. And he knows that she likes Michael and Michael likes her, so he's pretty protective and jealous, and they get into a few fights. Their first fight is great. It's the boyfriend fights dirty, and he goes and grabs Michael's crotch. Michael can't get away, so he goes and grabs his, and then the cops show up and they're trying to separate them. They won't let go of each other, and the older cop looks to the younger one and goes, "It looks like we have a testicular confrontation here." Or something along those lines. I'm still waking up and can't remember all the dialogue. And then some shit happens. And the asshole kids start chasing Michael again. And a few days later, they end up beating the shit out of him and leaving him somewhere. And he gets attacked by a creature. Then he gets hospitalized. Then he gets abducted by a quack doctor who reminds me of, what's his name? Dr. Nick Riviera from The Simpsons. Who, with the help of his nurse, abducts Michael from the hospital so they can use his brain to transplant into a T-Rex. Yeah, absurd, ain't it? And then the T-Rex comes to life with Michael's brain, and its sole mission is to find Tammy and tell her what happened. And Jesus Christ, is that shit ever funny. Also, when the T-Rex starts killing people, that's great. So if you had seen this movie back in the day, I think this came out in 93. Yeah, 1993. It was released as a PG movie. But now, thanks to Vinegar Syndrome, we now have the gore cut of Tammy and the T-Rex, where there is a bit of bloodshed. There's not a whole lot of gore in the gore edition, but what gore is in there is pretty damn well done. The T-Rex rips the head off of someone, and you get to see all like the muscle tissue and sinew and all that gooey stuff coming out. You get to see a kid's head get fucking crushed by a car. There's someone that fucking flattened like a steamroller went over them. There's some wicked gore. The movie was definitely worth picking up, and with it being Vinegar Syndrome's first 4K release, like legit 4K, not Arrow and Severin 4K restoration bullshit, still at 1080, this was true 2160p. And I had to get it because the more that the 4K sells, Hopefully that means more actual 4K horror will come out from Vinegar Syndrome. And the 4K scene really, really needs more horror. I am fucking disgusted that I have to have mainstream movies on my shelf just to have 4K movies. It sucks, and I want and need more 4K horror. So if you have the funds, get on over to Vinegar Syndrome and get yourself a 4K copy of Tammy and the T-Rex. Even if you don't have a 4K TV just yet, this one does come with the standard Blu-ray as well. And when you upgrade, you'll have the 4K ready to go. So do that. It's a typical like high school type flick where they've got actors in their mid-20s playing the high school students. Even though Paul Walker himself isn't in the movie that much, but his voice is a bit. You can hear him kind of talking to himself in his head as the T-Rex. But what little bit of acting he did in this, I still think is better than anything he's done in Fast and the Furious. The other thing I remember him from is an old movie from like the late 80s called Monster in the Closet. He was a teacher in that, and a fucking meth head chick from Black Eyed Peas was in that movie too. Not bad. I remember loving it as a kid, but I don't know how I would stand up on a revisit nowadays. Maybe if Vinegar Syndrome can get it off of Trauma and do a 4K release, I'll find out. But yeah, Tammy and the T-Rex. Go get that shit. And there's still slip covers available. Although mine doesn't really move like I feel it should. It's a lenticular cover. The picture's supposed to change. And the fact that it's just like the doctor moving a little bit left and right. Like I was expecting it to go from gore cover to non-gore cover type of thing. Oh well. The gore cover's cooler anyways. Yeah, surprisingly fun movie. Go into it with an open mind and a turned off mind. Don't try to analyze this flick in a serious way. Just put it on for a good laugh and you're gonna have a great time with it. If you go in wanting something serious, then why the fuck did you even buy a movie called Tammy and the T-Rex? Fucking pleb. Just put it on, sit back and laugh. This is one of the funniest fucking flicks I've seen this month. Maybe in the last couple months, I don't remember, but I'll definitely be revisiting it in the next couple months. It was just, it's just a fun movie. I don't know what else to say. I'm gonna have to look up this fucking dude, Stuart Refill. Oh, testicular standoff it's called. I can't remember what I called it earlier. Testicular confrontation, I think. No, testicular standoff. That shit had me rolling. Oh, in the extras on the Blu-ray, it even has the full-length PG cut on it as well. But why watch that when you got the gore cut? Who else is in this? Terry Kaiser, George Buckflower. Yo, wasn't he the dude in fucking Berserker? Thankfully, he's better in this than he was in Berserker, because fuck Berserker. John F. Goff, Sean Whalen, and Efren Ramirez. That reminds me of my homie Ramiro. There's audio commentary on on both discs. And then the Blu-ray has all the other specials on it. Blood Brains and a Teenage T-Rex, A Blast from the Past, Having the Guts, Testicular Standoff, and like I said, the full PG-13 cut. Yeah, I think I bored you enough. 10 minutes about a fucking dinosaur. Just grab it, guys. If you need to fill your 4K shelf up a bit more, you can't go wrong with Tammy and the T-Rex. It was something. Stay sleazy, motherfuckers. Peace.